Hey guys, I'm back to work on Rudolph, the little golden book. I thought I would go ahead and show you, like, after I pull all my papers and after I cut everything down, how I kind of stack my papers and put them in to my little golden books. Or these, I was calling them, these are actually little wonder books. They're about the same. They're actually these are actually the same size as the little golden books, but these two are wonder books. So I've gotten them, I got these put together, and I did try that little trick of doing the different fabric. I did one big piece of this fabric, and then I just glued the other little pieces, and then I stitched my signatures in, and that is kind of cute. I do like the way that turned out. I'm gonna go back. I think I'm gonna add some buttons across here and maybe some buttons across here, and do something a little different on that one. But I thought I would go ahead and do this process with you, because I've had some questions about how many pages I put in my signatures and how I actually put them together, you know, my thought process and all that good stuff. So I thought I would just do that real quickly with you, and then it may be a long video. I may do a little bit of the sewing, like in one of the signatures, and kind of show you how I do that. It just depends on how long this takes me. So I've showed you guys how I take my books apart and how I put my spines in and how I get that little bit of a curve in the spine, and then you put the fabric on. I've stitched through my machine, and when you're doing this, just go really slow, because if you try to go too fast, what happens, and it happened on here, and this is thicker too, so it kind of jumped on me here. That doesn't bother me, because, you know, that is in there, you know, and you could always, I mean, it really doesn't, it's not something that stands out at you, or in my opinion. But you got to take it really slow when you're going through your machine. Once you get it going, just go, you know, almost watch like every stitch. It's almost like dun, 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 dun. If you do that and kind of in that timing, it won't jump around on you, okay? But if you try to go too fast, those stitches are gonna jump. Okay, so I've got my cover already, okay? And I debated, just to show you sort of what I think about too, and I found some more of this fabric. I knew I had another decent sized piece of this, and I found that. So I just thought this looked really cute on here. I debated using the actual Rudolph fabric. I forgot that I had this, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make some pockets somewhere in the journal with this, maybe a tag or two, something like that. I may do pockets. I may do a pocket in the front and in the back on this one. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards, but I love this, and I thought it would have been really cute, but I just didn't feel like I could capture like everything I wanted to. I mean, it would have been cute like that, you know, but I just really love this fabric, and I like the way it looks on here. By the time, if I put buttons on here or the tassel and everything, this kind of gets hidden, and I just decided it would be cuter as pockets. So that's how my mind works, okay? So I pulled out one of my little Jodie DeFee pockets that she has a video on, and these are really simple. All you do is you fold 3 pieces of paper in half, okay? The same size pieces of paper, whatever size you want to use, and then this one you take, this is the fold, and you put that inside of that. This one you take and you fold you fold these over and stitch them or glue them. You don't have to stitch these, you can glue them. And then this one you fold it over. So what I did was I ran a stitch across here and a stitch across here, and then you fold it again, and then I just put all the pieces in my sewing machine and stitched all the way around. It's really, really simple, and these are fun to do, and I made quite a few of them. So anyway, I'm gonna put one in here. Then what I do, once I've got my book ready, I take my pages, because I'm gonna stitch all my pages in, and I've kept them in order, and I'll take one signature at a time, and I cut about, I guess it's about 1/4 of an inch. You know, it's about 1/4 of an inch, and I just put it in my guillotine cutter, and I just cut the whole thing They're all in order, so I keep them set aside, and I just clip them together and set them aside, okay? Let me make sure I'm in frame, okay. Then what I do is I take my stacks of paper. So I've got like my offcuts, okay? So I'm gonna stack them. Then I've decided on the papers that I'm gonna use for the first page of each signature. Now, and I've put them in order the way I want them to be. It doesn't really matter. In this case, it doesn't really matter, because what I'm gonna do with this is I'm gonna fold these over, and this is how my signature is gonna be, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So this is gonna be my first signature, okay? So I put that stack, and then I take, I'm gonna move these out of the way. Then I take whatever kind of, you know, graph paper or calligraphy paper that I'm gonna use in here, okay? And I make a pile with that. And then I take whatever cardstock I'm gonna use, and I make a pile with that. I'm trying to stay on camera, okay? And then I am gonna put one of these full pages in here. It is going to peek over a little bit when I stitch it in. It's gonna come over a little bit, but that will be cute, because I can put some little tags, or I can put a big tag with a tab or something on here. So that'll be cute. I'm gonna try it that way in this one. So that's one of my plastic sleeves, and then I'm also going to do something a little bit different this time with one of my slide protector pages. So just got a regular 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock that I've folded over. And then I took this slide, so there's 4 slides across, and it's like 6 slides down. So I cut it down. I cut it down here, and then I cut that last slide piece off, okay? And I make sure that when I cut it, I cut across that line where that is holding it together. Okay, can you see that? And then what I'm gonna do this time is I'm taking that edge so that it will fit in the book. Now, it's gonna stick out just a little bit too, but now that doesn't bother me, you know, and I don't think it doesn't bother some people. Some people don't like it, but you know, you can always, if you don't like that, because what I'll do is I'll just put little bits in here for you to use. If you happen to purchase this book and you don't like that, you can simply cut this other slide piece off and use it somewhere else. If it protruding out bothers you, you know, you just have to make sure you cut on the other side of that line. Anyway, so I'm going to stitch that. So those are going to be my little plastic sleeves. And here's some more of that. Okay. So then I take my other pieces, like of either wrapping paper or other book pages, music pages, stuff like that, and then I put them in a stack. And this one I'm going to stitch this little printout. And I thought this was a Roxy Creations, but I actually think this is a Graphics Fairy image. And I'm going to stitch this. Now, it doesn't match up, okay, to that. That doesn't bother me. Anyway, everything does not have to be perfectly lined up. I like things different sizes, you know, stuff like that. So now what I do, I'm going to set these aside because I'm going to do this last. I'm going to show you how I do that. I'm going to set those pages over here. So this is going to be my first page, okay? Well, I can do this as I'm doing this. So what I'm going to do, and the reason why I usually kind of go back and do this after I get the signatures together, but it really doesn't matter in what order you do it. So I don't want to hide this paper, okay? So since this is a single-sided paper, now if it was double-sided, I would go with my color the way I put these together, okay? But since it's single-sided, I want you to be able to use this part to put pictures on or pockets or whatever, or collage, and then you can have some of that pretty paper behind it. I'm going to take my book page, because this is going to be the very first page in the book, so I'm going to take this page, okay, and I'm going to clip it, okay, to that. And then this is going to be the back page of the front signature. So I'm going to take the second page, And I keep these clipped together how you cut them so that they're in order, then you don't get mixed up on the order. So this is if you want them in order. That's not a rule either. That's just something I do. So I'm gonna clip this page in. And I'm also not super concerned that everything butts up exact. If you are, you can take these down and cut, you can cut them down a little bit more. But once I stitch it in, I'm gonna stitch it right there. And I'm gonna stitch this right up to the edge. Okay, so then that's gonna be your first page. That's gonna be your second page. And this whole page back here leaves you like a hidden journaling spot. So you can write all kinds of stuff on there, okay? All right, so that's gonna be my first page. So then I kind of alternate. I decide, do I want to go ahead and put another book page? Normally I don't. Normally I'll go, the next thing I go to is something to write on, or more of a written, something to write on. And then I do look at the color. Like I do look at the color next to each page and kind of think what's pleasing to me. There are no rules, like I said, absolutely no rules. So now I'm going to come in and I'm going to put a piece of cardstock, okay? And then I want something else. Let's see. Then I think I want something else that's smaller. So maybe I'll do the ornaments, okay? Put that there. And then, let's see. I think this would be fun here. So what I'm doing here is this, and this was supposed to be clipped together. I'm gonna stitch this page from a book, from that Mercer Mayer book, to a page that I folded over from, this is from another little golden book that's like a hem. It's got like different hems and stuff in it. Okay, so I'm gonna put that there, and I've got to sew those two together, okay? So let's see how many pages I've got now. So now I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages. Now, if I'm doing 5 signatures and I'm trying to, if I do five pages in each signature times 5, okay? So 5 times 2 when you fold it over is 10. So that's actually 20 pages in this signature. So then 20 times 5 gives you 100 total pages if you just do 5 in each signature. Now, I don't want this in the middle of my signature. And I really don't count. I don't really sit. I might have 7 pages in one signature, 6 in another, 5 in another, 8 in another. I try to keep it, I'm trying to keep them a little bit smaller because they are easier to stitch in if you don't do huge signatures. But I don't want this to be my middle of my signature, okay? So I'm thinking maybe I want to come in here. Let's see, I've got a couple of pieces. Oh, I got 1 piece of red. No, I got 2 pieces. All right. So I think for the middle, I'm going to put, I think I'm just going to do this sort of craft color, okay? And then if I want to come back later, I can come in and put a pocket in here. Like this might be a really cute place to put the Rudolph pocket. It's probably still leaning to the book front and back cover of the book for that, but I could come in here and do something else, or add something else in there. So that's going to be one. That's going to be my first signature, okay? And then let's pull this one. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to pull this over, fold this over, excuse me, like that. And then I'm going to get my 3rd and my 4th page out. Okay, was that the 3rd? Look, I see what I just do. I'm talking and trying to do this and not paying attention, so. Where's what it is? Right. Okay. All right, so this is the 3rd page, I think. And then we're gonna put this on the back part of that. So do it one at a time and don't try to talk when you're doing that. Yeah. All right, put those out of the way. Yeah, don't try to do what I'm doing here. So this is my second signature. So I want something that kind of looks good next to this. So this is busy, okay? So I could go with, I think right here, black might be good. I like adding the black in. I think it looks really cool. You can totally cover it up with collage or with another paper or photos, and you can write with the white gel pen on it. So I'm gonna put that there. And then I'm gonna put this writing page here. And then let's see. Let's do, I don't want to run out of my cardstock here. Let's do blue. No, let's do this red. Let's do this red right here. Also, another thing I think about when I'm doing this, like, so this was in my first signature. So I try not to put the same pattern in the same signature. Like, I try to put this in the third signature, I try to alternate. And then, so I've got several of these things here. And I don't want, let's put the wrapping paper here. Okay. So this is the Merry Christmas Santa wrapping paper. And then let's turn this over and do that in the middle of that. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's actually 6 pages in that. And I'm probably gonna have to trim this down or fold this. I'll probably fold it over. Okay, so that's the second signature. So now I'm gonna flip this over. This may be a long video, but I wanted to kind of show you my whole process of how I do this. And you don't have to, the only reason why I'm doing it this way, with covering up the, you know, the front and the back and using that white as the back of these pages, is so I don't lose, you know, the pretty paper. Now, you do not have to do it this way and sew your pages or put your pages on the front or back of each signature. It just gives more space that way, more of the pretty space versus the white space. And it's a simple way to do it and to get the whole story in there and in order. You can mix it in, like the other books, I mixed them in places because I had double-sided papers and stuff. So, no rules, people, no rules. I've told you, no rules. Okay, so here, I'm gonna put this. I'm gonna put this in here. I'm gonna stitch these two together. So I'm gonna clip them. Like that, okay. And then in here, let's see what I'll put here. I'll probably put a piece of cardstock here. So let me use, so the blue looks pretty against that. And I like using the blue and green and reds together. I love all those color combinations together. And then, so here I think this snowflake would be pretty in there. So 1, 2, 3, I've only got 4. So then, oh no, I knew what I was gonna do 4. And then I'm gonna put this 4. And that's gonna be 5, okay? And actually, yeah, let's see, 4. Okay, let's do this. Do that, and then we do that, okay? All right, so that's the third signature. Okay, so let me get these. I don't want these to fall. I see a craft-a-lynch, potential craft-a-lynch over here. Okay. So then, for my fourth signature, I've got the snowflake. Flip that over. Put this page on. page on the back. And I will sometimes, now this book, every image in this book to me is really cute. I love this. This is one of my favorites. Sometimes if I like the image on one side versus the other, I will use the cuter image so that you know that you see that first. So you know the story may not always be intact. I usually try to let people know when I do that. But I will do that sometimes because you know really it's you know there are no rules. There's no rules, people. No rules. Okay, so then I'm gonna put. Let's see. Let's put a piece of cardstock, and then I'm going to put Christmas Eve in the last, because that's Christmas Eve, and then the song on the other side is Christmas Day, so I'm going to put that in the last one. I'll put this one here, and see that looks good up against that green, in my opinion. I need another. I haven't even used any of this. Let's put that in there. Let's put this in here. And do I want another piece of cardstock? I need 2 pieces of card. I'm gonna put those in the last one. I know I was gonna put that in the last one. Okay, so here's where I kind of start changing my mind here and there. All right, I'm gonna put this piece of calligraphy paper in here too. Okay. And then in the middle of this one, I think I'm gonna use this. So I'm gonna do it this way. All right, so that's the 4th signature. And then the 5th signature. All right, what did I do? There's more pages in this book. Ooh, right. Okay. All right, so we're gonna do something a little bit different. I'm gonna put the last 4 pages in this signature. All right, so we'll do that. And then we'll take this stick flat. Good Lord, come on. Let's do the graphic. These are some smaller pages I had left over from another project, so I do like different size pages in here. Let's see. Let's see. Nope. 4. 5. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this page. I think I'm gonna do this page here, and I'm gonna have to cut it down a little bit. This page here. And this page here. And let's see. And let's put the sleeve here. This here and this here. Okay, now I'm going to come around to the back page, and what I'll do is I'm going to go fill in these other pages that were left over. But I want this Christmas, like, okay, I think I'm going to put this here. don't know how I got off on my count there. Maybe one of those books I didn't have all the pages for or something. Let's see. 2, 3. I don't even know if this is... That's actually Christmas paper. I'm going to put this up here and add that in. And then let's see, add something in here. Let's put this gray. So you just have to adapt. You know, you start with a plan. I'll put that in there. I think I've already got 1, 2. Let's put this in here. I just try to mix, I try to mix the pages up so that I'm not putting, you know, the same things next to one another. And actually, it does not bother me that the last 4 pages of the book will be in the last signature. But that's how I do this. And then there's some little tears in this book, super old. I think I'm either gonna go in and maybe with some washi or some fabric washi tape, or I might even just put like some Scotch tape there, so when it ages, you get that kind of aged look of the Scotch tape that we all love. I don't know, I haven't decided yet. Okay, so there's all my signatures. I'm not gonna put this in here. I don't really think this is, it's got Christmas colors. I may just add that in as a little extra for this book. So I don't think I'm gonna sew that in. So now I've got my cover ready. I've got all my pages ready to go to the sewing machine. Then I'll go to the sewing machine and sew, okay? And let's see, let me see where I'm at. Okay, so I'm at 27 minutes. So this just might be a really long video, but I'm just wanting to show you the whole thing. So I'm gonna pull my sewing machine out. Shoot. Hold on. Okay, so now I'm gonna pull this signature over here, and as I'm working, I'm gonna leave this sitting right here. I'm gonna pull this paper clip. I'm just gonna kind of slide this out of the way, and I'm gonna get my page. And what I might do, because I didn't cut it quite, I may cut them down around the edges, but probably not. Probably just gonna leave them. So. So I'm getting right up to, I don't want to go right to the edge of my paper, because then when you go to flip this page, it doesn't want to do right. So I get kind of right up to, leave you about a little, not even like a 1/4 of an inch, you know, right there, before you sew. And then I'm just going to come over here, and I'm just going to use the zigzag stitch. Now, some people are super meticulous about getting the pages to exactly match what they're sewing it to. Kristen over at Rock Paper Treasures is where I got the idea of sewing the pages like this, and she is very meticulous. She gets her pages exact. She's a much more meticulous crafter or artist than I am. I don't stress it too much, but I don't want a whole lot of it hanging over where it's going to tear and stuff like that and be a problem. But I'm not all into, it doesn't have to be exact for me. And she has a great channel. If y'all don't know who she is, Rock Paper Treasures, go check her out. She makes some beautiful books. And she also puts a lot of supply stuff. She does a lot of shopping. She finds some really cool vintage things. and she'll do, you know, haul videos and stuff and tell you what's in her shop. Go check her out because she's got some really cool stuff. Okay, so that's gonna be that's my first signature, okay? And then I'm gonna pull this over here. I'm gonna kind of go through, so what else do I need to sew? None of that needs sewing, okay? But this page does. So I'm gonna set this over here. And then, let's see. So these two need to be sewn together, okay? Now you can leave your paper clip at the bottom. That helps keep it straight. Okay, when you're sewing, and just remember, you know, right when you get to that part, just pull the paper clip off. That is a helpful thing to do so that it doesn't get uneven. Bring the paper clip off. And then as I'm stitching, I back stitch a little at the top, okay? So I back stitch a little at the top and a little at the bottom so my threads aren't going anywhere. So then this little guy goes back in here and this guy goes back in here, okay? So that's one signature ready to go and stitch in. And then I go through and do that, you know, with the rest of them. So let me show you, let's see. Let's do the third signature. Let me show you how I'm gonna do this. Because this is a little tricky. Sewing through this plastic can be tricky. If you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, okay. So I've got it folded over, and if you see where the line, I've folded it right where the line is, or right, so when I put my little thing, when I put my little pictures or whatever in here, it doesn't, if I go too far over, it's gonna make this smaller, okay? I hope you understand what I'm saying. And I'm just gonna kind of put it in the middle, all right? I am going to take my paper clip and hold it because these will slip and slide on you. So this may work on camera, it may not. But let's try it. Okay, so I'm putting my paper clip there. And then I'm going to go to my machine and I'm going to start at the top of the page. Okay, and try to keep this in place. Stitch slowly through this plastic, because sometimes it does not like, your sewing machine does not like this. And I ran out of bobbin. Okay, so see how it I'll have to go back and do my bobbin thread and just come up here and do it, but see how it starts out really good, but then sometimes when it's going through this plastic, it gives you a wonky stitch. That doesn't bother me too much, because what I'll probably do on this side is I will probably put some washi or something over that on this page so that you don't have that. But I guess I'm gonna stop there because now I've got to replace my bobbin and keep going. And then I kind of changed up plans on you guys. I know I said the next video would be the collage, but I think that's going to be the sort of the last cover in my Christmas and August thing that I'm going to do, because I want to show you how to do a different. I want to show you how to do this with the cover, you know, so that you can do a ring bound journal. So I already did one side of this, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to come back in another video and show you how I do this, and then cover it with fabric or fabric washi or something, and punch the holes and kind of show you how to do this. I've already pulled, you know, pulled a bunch of stuff for that. And I'm doing the same thing with this book. Now this is a bigger book. This is another one I'm working on. So with this, you've already got, I've got it rubber banded together so everything stays in there. So with this, you've already got this, you know, this hard board, okay? And all I did was I took the book apart, and then I took some of my Christmas fabric washi that I made with several different pieces of it, you know, so you get those little frayed pieces, or the little, you know, I don't do mine, like, I don't butt my fabric up exactly to one another when I do this, because I like having those little pieces, but I just simply took a piece of my fabric washi and covered that, and then did it on the back as well, and put some other pieces, and then I'm just going to punch holes in this, and probably what I'll do is punch my holes. Like, you can punch a hole here and here. You can do 2. You could do 3 on this. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you what I'm going to show you my process for doing this. Okay. So the next video will be that on how to do the ring bound covers. All right. And then after that, somebody wants to see how I go through and embellish my book. So I'm also gonna do some of that. I'll, you know, and show you different things. Y'all just have to tell me exactly what you want to see. Do you want to see me, how I would do a page, with the little slide pockets, like, how I would do, you know, how I make my pockets for the journals, how, just let me know if there's anything else you guys want to see, okay? I've showed you how to tie the buttons on. I've showed you how I do my covers. I do have videos on how to make hidden paperclip pockets, so you can take that video and you can just make pockets. You know, you can just make pockets with that, and then not do the hidden paper clips. But if you want videos on how to do a lot of different pockets, Joie has some really cool, there's one video that's like 3 different pockets. She's got a ton of ideas that you can use for so many projects with so many different types of book paper, whether you're doing golden books or whether you're doing nature journals, or, you know, whatever you're working on and whatever kind of book pages. She's got a pocket for it, let me tell you. So you need to go check her out. And I think, oh, and then I've showed you how, like, I've done the ties on these. I did these a while ago, so I've done the ties on the 2 snowman journals, and these are almost done. Like I said, I've only got a few more little pockets to fill in on those. And while I'm still rambling, I'm trying to decide how to do the ties on this, because I'm just not so sure that I want to do, I've got all these little, you know, I've got little fun things hanging out over here. I've got this little charm and the buttons and stuff coming out here. And I'm not so sure that I want to do the fabric tie like that on here. I was thinking of a button, maybe putting a button closure on here that, you know, stitch something to the back or put it through an eyelet here that you can go around with it and then tie it, something thinner. If y'all have any thoughts or suggestions on that, please let me know, because I'm still, you know, I'm still haggling with that in my brain. So anyway, again, I hope you found this helpful, and I love you guys, and I hope everybody's doing well, and I will be back soon with another video on the doing the ring bound covers, okay, and kind of how I put those things together. All right, guys, love you, take care, bye.